Well, monarch butterflies are beautiful. They're a big butterfly. They're easy to see. They're easy to identify. And they float along and your spirit soars.
Mia Monroe works full-time as a national park ranger, while spending much of her spare time studying and helping to protect these beautiful butterflies, which have intrigued and mystified her all her life.
I mark the arrival of fall when I start seeing a few monarchs here and there in coastal California.
Each fall and winter, monarchs reach the coast of California in search of warmth and of shelter in eucalyptus and cypress groves. They're following a migration route between the mountains and the coast that remains mostly a mystery to science. And while there are more monarchs this year, the population is down more than 90% since the late 1990s.
We haven't seen the numbers of monarchs that some of us were in awe of in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. We just haven't seen those numbers. But this year, we are seeing a slight rebound. And so it's a time again for citizens to get out and welcome them back and count them and see what sites are occupied.
Mia Monroe is one of many citizen scientists here in the Bay Area and in fact throughout the entire state of California who are not only volunteering their time to monitor the conditions of monarch butterflies and keep track of them, but also to help their populations thrive.
There's a cluster hanging from a branch.
Well, Bill Shepard and George McCrae are also volunteer citizen scientists, counting clusters of critters sheltering on Albany Hill in the East Bay.
I counted about half of them, and I think around 600 in that
600
cluster.
right there?
Yeah.
And last year when you were here, there was almost nobody here in this whole area.
There were 8 of them.
8?
Maybe.
Yeah.
8 all
Yeah.
together last year?
8 or 12.
From only 8 or 12 individual butterflies here last winter, Bill and George are now counting thousands on Albany Hill. But while the monarch population appears to have rebounded, no one is resting easily.
It's been since '97 that there have been these kind of numbers.
A major effort is underway to conserve the monarchs by protecting overwintering locations like this one, and by growing the only plant species that monarchs will lay their eggs on, milkweed.
This is a narrow-leaf milkweed.
At his home in El Cerrito, George has planted native milkweed to give the monarchs more of what they depend on to raise the next generation of butterflies, increase their vulnerable population, and continue their mysterious migration. By planting this, making this available in your front yard,
Yes.
along a street in the city, we can all make a difference.
Everybody can make a difference. Anybody can do this. It's great joy for me. You're kind of lending a little bit of a hand to these creatures that are really having a difficult time.
With a helping hand from all of us, citizen scientists hope we'll be able to witness this marvel of nature along our coast for a long time to come.
Be a witness to the magic.
Look at all these butterflies, Mama.
Doug McConnell, NBC, Bay Area News.